Bishop Strickland, you tweeted, "Thanks be to God for the Supreme Court decision." This leaked one, it could change possibly, but we have to wait a bit longer, probably till June, to know for sure. But even the very fact that this got leaked out just made headlines, and there's a lot of people are really, really upset that this could be, half the country could make it so that abortion in their state is illegal, and we're talking thousands and thousands of babies being born because of this. What's your take on all of this, Bishop Strickland?
Well, it is. It was good to read the leaked opinion.
Yeah.
That is saying that the Roe v. Wade decision needs to be struck down. It needs to be returned to the states. I think that definitely is a step in the right direction.
Yep.
Of course, we know that no state, no nation should have it legal that unborn children are murdered in the womb, but we live in a very imperfect world, so it's a step in the right direction, at least, to say, rather than it's the law of the land to say that abortion's available everywhere, at least the states get to decide and look at the issues. And then it comes to people in individual states to work at the sanctity of the life of the unborn and the sanctity of the life of the mother and everyone involved, but to not be murdering in order to so-called solve a problem. So the decision as leaked is definitely the step in the right direction. As it seems with everything in the world today, Terry, especially in this nation, but really worldwide, everything's controversial and everything's complicated.
Yeah.
And the fact that, one of the repercussions of what happened with the leak of this opinion, I think it was by Judge Alito.
Yes, it was.
And the leak is a breach of ethics for the Supreme Court that's very significant. It's a deep and important issue, as well as what the decision was dealing with, the whole sanctity of life issue and the validity of Roe v. Wade. So both of those questions are going to continue to reverberate through the news cycle and people until we get the actual official opinion of the Supreme Court in this case. There are all kinds of theories that who knows what the motivation of whoever it was that leaked. But I think for the reason of the Supreme Court should be a sacred institution. Sadly, is anything sacred for people in our nation now? Certainly, we know that many things are sacred, but too many people are acting as if nothing's sacred. They can destroy history. They can tear down statues. They can cancel whoever they want. Nothing's sacred. We know that that is a path of devastation and destruction beyond the issues of the sanctity of life, which are the most significant issues. So there are two very, very significant issues that we have to deal with. The sacred nature of the Supreme Court and allowing those justices to read the information, to analyze the case. They work very hard and they need to.
Yeah.
They are considered the experts in the law and they look at all the different issues. And if that confidentiality and that ability for them to make their judicial decisions on what is the truth and what is right, if that's undermined, then the value of the Supreme Court is deeply harmed. And I hope that we don't see the long-lasting repercussions of this, but it certainly is a very, very fragile place for the Supreme Court. And then you switch over to the decision as it was leaked and published, talking about how the Roe v. Wade needs to be struck down and it needs to be returned to the states. There's already been some violent reaction to that. And what I, in another tweet, encourage people to pray that for the Supreme Court justices.
Amen.
They're just men and women like us. They're not perfect super beings. They're just men and women, very intelligent, very well formed in the law, but they need to be free to vote according to what the law says and following the Constitution. I'm no constitutional lawyer, but as I understand the way it's supposed to work, the way the founding fathers crafted what has been this great nation and allowed us to attain the greatness that is there, that the process is for them to look at the Constitution and compare what the Constitution says with what laws are being questioned. Is it constitutional or not? And that is sacrosanct. That is sacred to this nation. It's part of the three branches of government and the balance of powers. And all of that has gotten really messed up lately. And we need to speak up and be very clear. The Supreme Court has a role. The legislature has a role. The executive branch has a role. Too much of that has been blurred. And to lose the sacred value and authority of the Supreme Court is another drastic blow to this nation. So we've got to really take care of both issues. The sanctity of life is really, I mean, that has to be dealt with. And people have said that, they point to a similar situation which caused the Civil War in this country, just diametrically opposed. And if we look back, slavery, in many ways, you can look at some of those court cases, and it was speaking the same way people speak about the unborn, is they're not a person, they don't have rights, they don't have value. And that is, we finally woke up to the evil of slavery. We need to wake up as a nation to the evil of abortion. Whether or not we can get there in our lifetime, who knows? But we've got to keep working at it. And this decision both gets to the value and the sanctity of the ability of the Supreme Court to make these decisions, the important sacred duty they have, and also the sanctity of life, which we've got to move away from what has promoted more than 60 million abortions since Roe v. Wade. We've got to change that. But as I always say, Terry, the main thing we have to change is hearts.
Amen.
Got to change the hearts of people that are ready, for whatever reasons, to deny the value and the rights of an unborn child.